I'd like to start by thanking everybody for coming out today. My name is Tim Wilson. I'm one of the co-founders of the Duluth Experience, and I will be your moderator today. The reason we want to do this event is to highlight the amazing craft beer scene the city has and to promote the direction it is heading. This is the second of 4 events, and we're going to focus on the brewers and crafting of the North Shore beer scene. I'd like to take this time to thank our sponsors, Fitger's Brewhouse, Thirsty Pagan Brewing, Bent Paddle Brewing Company, Carmody Irish Brew Pub, Canal Park Brewing Company, Lake Superior Brewing Company, Castle Danger Brewing Company, Blacklist Brewing Company, Northland Beer, and the Growler Magazine. I would also like to thank a few of the breweries for providing delicious beer: Castle Danger, Lake Superior, Fitger's Brewhouse, and Carmody. Let's give them a round of applause. So we are going to do a quick introduction of the panel, and then we are going to have our discussion. We're going to close it down with questions. Dave and Paul, the Duluth Experience, will be walking around and collecting your questions, which you can write on your note card. And then if you want to pass them to the middle at the end of the discussion, that'd be great. We're also going to do a little bit of a raffle, so if anybody signed up for it, at the end, we'll pass around a pitcher to these guys. We'll pick a couple winners, and then you can go out to the merch table out there and grab your prize. So let's get it started. I'm going to do bios going this way around the table. So starting off, we have Jeremy King. Jeremy got into the home brewing during the college days while drinking levels were high and studying levels were low. He managed to graduate with a degree in biotechnology and went on to grad school at Purdue, where he studied biochemistry. He then started working in a yeast lab and fell in love with the little single-celled buggers. Jeremy eventually made his way into managing Northern Brewer homebrew supply, where he got to interact with each of the Milwaukee area breweries via various side projects. In 2011, Jeremy harvested a yeast culture from a Wisconsin-grown barley for use in Lakefront Brewery's Wisconsinite. It was the first beer produced with 100% U.S. locally sourced ingredients. Wisconsin-sourced ingredients. This yeast is the first commercially available yeast to have known North America origins. Jeremy moved to Duluth in May of 2013 for the opportunity to turn pro and now brews at Canal Park Brewery. Next up, we have Dave Ooops. Dave attended UC Davis and Siebel Institute for Brewing Studies. He started his brewing career in 1995 at Goose Island in Chicago. He then returned to San Francisco in the fall of 1995 and served as lead brewer at Pyramid Brewery in Berkeley for 5 years. He moved to Duluth in late 1999 with his family and took over the head brewer job at Fitger's Brewhouse from his brother Mike Ooops. He was a charter member of the Minnesota Craft Brewers Guild, and he served on the board of directors for 8 years. He helped to oversee Fitger's Brewhouse growth from a 200-barrel brew pub to a 3,000-barrel brew pub. Dave is a very active supporter of the craft beer community. He is a beer writer and is a judge at both the Great American Beer Festival and the Festival of Barrel-Aged Beers. He is also a multiple Great American Beer Festival medal winner. Up next, we have Brian Schanzenbach. Brian moved to Duluth in 2000 to attend UMD and receive his BS degree in biology. He started homebrewing in 2003, or maybe 2002, which would make it illegal, and fell in love. During the summer of 2004, he shoveled the mash tun at Lake Superior Brewing Company and experienced how a professional brewery functioned. In the summer of 2005, Brian landed a grunt job at Fitger's Brewhouse, and he hasn't looked back since. He attended Siebel Institute of Technology in the fall of 2005, and upon graduation, returned to Fitger's Brewhouse to work for them for 6 more years. In 2012, Blacklist Brewing was established with his childhood friend John Loss, and they have made Duluth, Minnesota their home. They are extremely excited to be a part of this amazing city and culture. Up next, we have Jason Baumgarth. Jason has been the head brewer at Carmody Irish Pub and Brewing for just over a year. He took over from the previous head brewer, Mike Miley. He's here. After serving as assistant brewer for about 9 months, learning the system and the recipes at Carmody and spearheading Carmody's small batch Sundays. Before joining the brewery staff at Carmody, Jason was an avid home brewer and cider maker and worked as a bartender in the Carmody pub. Last but not least, we have Dale Kleinschmidt. Dale started homebrewing in May of 1971. He began an apprenticeship at Lake Superior Brewing in June of 1995 and became the first paid craft brewer in northern Minnesota. He advanced to head brewer at Lake Superior Brewing in 1998, and he became co-owner in 2001. With Dale, Lake Superior Brewing has gone through 2 expansions of the brewhouse and many expansions of the tank farm, going from 6 barrels of fermenting capacity to 240 barrels capacity. After adding the bottling line, Dale was able to enter brands into the World Beer Championships, which only accepts commercially packaged beer. Lake Superior Brewing has won 8 silver and 2 gold medals in the World Beer Championships, with a medal for each of their year-round beers and each of their seasonal brands. Dale also developed and brewed 3 brands for Brainerd Lakes Beer and house brands for Hacienda del Sol, Clyde Iron, Grandma's Restaurants, Spirit Mountain, and Blackwater Lounge. He has had no formal training. All right, with that, we're going to start this off with the first question of the discussion. So, brewers, what about